Hi, my name is John, and I make videos about my life experiences in healthcare, financial education, school education, personal growth, and self-development here on YouTube. So, I am lost, and I'm scared about the future. And you know what? I love that. I'm scared, and I love that. I'm confused, and I love that. And I'm lost, and I love that. And let me tell you why. Hey, so let's first go back to the beginning. It has been a while since I posted a video. It's kind of funny now I think about it. I make a video talking about starting and stop procrastinating. And you know what? After that video, I haven't posted any video for 6 months, half of the year. Great job, John. Great job, right? Let's go with the message. But you know what? I didn't post video because it wasn't because I was afraid or fear of posting online video, but it's more about my mental wellness and finding myself. Here, let me explain what happened. Let's take this back 6 months ago, right after I posted my first video. I was working at a trauma hospital as a dispatcher and a team leader for a patient transport team. Well, in short, I handle most of the patient transport car in the trauma hospital. So there's me, the dispatcher, and then there's a team of transporter that help the nurses, the technician, for the patient to go to a CT, X-ray, MRI, or could be like, patient come in from the ER and after they get treatment, they go to the floor or go to ICU. So you have a transport team for that. Now, I'm not gonna lie that I wasn't overwhelmed in beginning because when you get a new job, everything's new, you know? But eventually I get used to it because I have a lot of time working in the healthcare field. I have background as an EMT, so I was able to manage the high level stress environment and people dying that came with the job, especially with the trauma hospital. Sure, there are days that way tougher and taxing mentally, especially when it comes with little kids and teenagers, which are way harder to deal with than adult and elderly. I also deal with the mold also. So every time that we have someone die or pass away, they call me like, hey John, I have a body that expire. I need you to come pick up the body and send down to the mold. So it's either me or one of my transport have to do that job. But sometimes if we are understaffed and we are busy, then pretty much it's only me by myself. And let me tell you, it's a really tough environment to be in because when you get there, the family is around the patient. Sometimes the family is gone because we usually give them at least an hour of grief before we come to take the body. But yeah, it's a tough place to be in. Long story short, after posting my first video, I decided to quit my job at the hospital because of the management. Now, I want to make it clear that it's not the healthcare field or the nurses there or the staff there. I love working with the staff. I love working with the staff there. The nurses are great. The EMT are great. The supervisor are great. The house soup is really helpful because he understands what happened with the whole hospital. So when I tell him, hey, there's a problem, there's nothing I can do, he was really helpful. So it's the reason why I left the hospital was not because of the hospital, the environment, but it was because of the management. Because we are always understaffed. To be honest, you can be the judge of this. Maybe you work in the healthcare field, or maybe you have someone working in the healthcare field, and maybe you can relate to this. For a trauma hospital, right? It's bad when there's only me, one dispatcher, and I only have one or two transporter every night. And for night shift, we have way more ER situation. So imagine, on a good day, it's me, one dispatcher, and two transporter. Three transporter for a whole trauma hospital. On average too, for our hospital, we usually have about 200 to 300 patients. So imagine 200 to 300 patients with only three transporter. So imagine how backed up we are with all the exam. Because I always get call from the nurses or chart nurse and say, hey John, I have a patient came in from the ER and he need to go to the MRI ASAP. Or it could be from the OR calling me and say, hey John, the patient from the OR is done. I need help taking patient back up to the floor. Or hey John, ER need to go straight to ICU right now. And I get all this call and say, hey John. And I was like, well, I only have three transport. I only have three transporter right now, including me, three transporter. So I will handle case by case basis. So pretty much, which one is more urgent? I will do that. MRI, ER, ICU are more important than the routine call like CT, X-ray. Those will get pushed back. But the problem is that the doctor is also on my case too and say, hey, I need to get my result for CT and X-ray. So I was like, there's nothing I can do. So therefore I had to call the house soup. Hey, house soup, this is the situation. What do you want me to do? Usually the house soup is very good with this. He would tell me, hey, handle all the urgent case first, and then after that deal with the routine. And then he will handle with the doctor and the chart nurse. But yeah, so very much eventually, me coming to the hospital every single day, very much I had to argue with the nurses, explain my situation. Some of the nurses get what happened, so they always say, okay, try your best. Some of the nurses are more pushy. I mean, I understand it's a trauma hospital. Everyone is sometimes on edge. So it's understandable, especially with the high stress environment when it comes to healthcare. The problem is that when we are understaffed, I have to pick up the slack, and especially eventually get a lot of taxing mentally for my mental health. I guess the last straw was when I talked to my supervisor, and I pretty much, let me put this straight. I walked into his office and was really nicely and say, hey, the situation right now is that we are always understaffed. I was wondering, like, it's possible to hire more people, and if you are in the process of hire more people, maybe hire someone in the mid-shift or per diem, just in case someone call out, so the per diem person could come in to cover for the shift. Because when someone call out, we are literally understaffed, and don't imagine we have three transporter, right? Someone call out, that means we only have two. What happens if someone's sick? That means only have one person, which is really bad for a trauma hospital. And then, to be honest, I can't believe he said this, but that was my last straw when I explained to him what happened, and he literally told me, well, something along the line saying that, you know what, this is how the hospital ran. Maybe this is not a job for you if you can't handle the load. And I was saying like, okay, I could handle it. It's just that it's bad when there are not enough staff for my department. And I said, yeah, but that's just how it is. And if you don't like it, maybe this place is not for you. And I was like, okay, fine. To be honest, if you put it like that, then maybe this is not for me. So I put in my 2 weeks notice and told, hey, I will try my best to help out, but after 2 weeks, I'm going to be gone. And I told my other nurses in the hospital too, and they thought, yeah, they understand. They told me, yeah, they need to get more transporter in because it's not enough. Because when the nurses, most of the nurses in the hospital, especially my hospital, have 4 to 5 patients. And it's really bad when we don't have enough transporter for the patient. They had to pick up our own slack, and they had to do the transport themselves. So let's say, hey, I can't come to get your patient to the CT or MRI, so therefore they had to do it themselves. So it's bad. So I put in my 2 weeks notice, did my 2 weeks, say goodbye, turn in my badge, and left on a good note with the hospital. Everything was fine. But I guess after turning my badge, came home, and then I was like, ugh. So here I was, 27, halfway in the summer. I think it was around mid-August or so, alone in my room, with no job, $20,000 in debt, in student loan, and somewhat lost in life. I asked myself many questions about what my future gonna be. And you know what? My first month, I mostly spent my time on YouTube looking up to figure out what my future gonna be, where I'm going in my life, the typical stuff to do when you're lost. The problem is that my first month, right? I mean, working in the hospital was really stressful. I was working there for 2 years, and then my schedule was really hectic. So after I quit that job, my first month, I was really unproductive. So I went out and catch up with a lot of my friends. I think the most worst thing about that period was that I gained a lot of weight. And then when I say a lot of weight, I mean a lot of weight. Now, I don't know if you could tell from my puffy cheek, and I gained a beer belly. But yeah, that 1 month, I just picked out like crazy. I think it was YouTube, Netflix, read a book. But when I read a book, I was on my bed. So it's not a lot of activity. So I was very lazy, unproductive, lost, confused. What really got me out of my head and kind of motivate me to go forward was when my friend got married. Like literally a month after, about a month or two after I quit my job, two of my friends got married. Two of my college friends got married, and they just 1 year older than me too. Like they graduated a year before me, and here I was, 27, my college friend who 1 year older than me getting married, and I was like, what am I doing in my life? You know, that mindset. I don't know, but it was kind of like difficult back then. So here I was at the wedding. It was great. And I was happy for them. I was surrounded with all my successful college friends. I don't know you know, but I went to UCLA, so a lot of my friends are, I would say, successful. Some of them are doctor, are in their residency. Some of them are PT, pharmacists, accountant, like do in a really good firm. So pretty much they are, I would say they got to that part where they won't, how would I say this? They got to that part where they are stable enough with their career, where they won't afraid about going broke or bankrupt. So here I was at my friend's wedding, sitting there, waiting for them to walk down the aisle, surrounded by my successful college friends, while watching my college friend, who is just 1 year older than me, finding the love of his life and settling down. It's very daunting, to be honest. The funny part is that that friend of mine, he's considered a class clown of my group. So we always make fun of him that, hey, maybe you're not gonna find someone. Well, I won't say that, but we always make fun of him that he could probably be the last one to get married, you know? And he was the first one of our group to get married. And we always joke about that too. It's like, man, you get married, what about all of us? But yeah, it's a fun night. We'll have our laugh, we'll have our toast. It's very emotional night. But I guess at the end, around the end of that night, when they have their dances and we have our reception, many thoughts went through my head. I was like, what am I doing with my life? What have I been doing? Why why I'm not having a girlfriend yet? Why I'm not dating? Should I be considering settling down or getting a house? I'm getting close to my 30. Oh man, I'm getting close to my 30. Am I getting a midlife crisis, a quarter life crisis? I don't know what's happening right now with me, but that was my mindset during that time. I was like, oh my God, I'm freaking out. But yeah, alcohol actually helped though. I mean, we were drinking, so it was an emotional night. If you're still watching now, thank you. I really appreciate it. Just wondering though, if you're in your mid or late 20s or even early 30s, can you relate to how I felt back then? Like, were you lost? Are you confused about your future? Let me know down in the comment. The drive home after the wedding was kind of weird though, because it brought up so many social pressure of what I should be doing at my age, 27. You know, there's so much social expectation of what you're supposed to do at this age. And not meeting that expectation will consider me not be a successful person in my late 20s. I realize I need to change, but I'm still lost because I don't know what I truly want to do with my life. Because I don't want to just go to work and work that job for the rest of my life without really love doing that job. I love going to healthcare field. I love doing healthcare, but the thing is, there are so many fields in the healthcare. I don't know if you understand. Like right now, I just got a new part-time job that focuses on mental health. Before, I was working as an EMT, trauma hospital, so a lot of patient contact, like a lot of saving life, a lot of management, like as a dispatcher, a lot of like behind the scene. But now, as a part-time doing with mental health, it's a different take, and I really love it. It's a lot of reward feeling, and right now I'm considering pursuing that mental health perspective for the healthcare field. But then again, like I think I need to expose myself more into doing a lot of things before I like settle down to figure out, hey, this is what I love. I could see myself doing this for the rest of my life. Therefore, I will do it. Because right now I'm still exploring, exposing myself to different jobs, different opportunity. Because who knows, like maybe eventually I could find something that I love doing. But at the same time, I really want to travel around the world, care and serve other people, and maybe make this world a little better if I can. Back at home, I started buying a lot of self-help, personal growth recommended by Amazon in hope to better myself physically and mentally. I also watched a lot of great interviews on YouTube and speeches about inner peace, happiness, inner self, subconscious versus consciousness mind, inner happiness, and external happiness here on YouTube. I came across many YouTube videos online that now consider my online mentor to better myself. Some of them you might know. Why by Simon Sinek. A lot of interviews by Tom Bilyeu, Impact Theory, interview by Lewis Howes, Jay Shetty, Cal Cease, Self-Awareness by Gary Vee. I know Gary Vee is known for his hustler and mentality, but for me, what I truly take away from him is self-awareness. Like, if you want to become an entrepreneur of doing business, you need hustler. But for me, I want to do things that I want to do. Hustler, yes, you want a lot of hard work and work smart. But for me, I want to have a quality life. So being self-aware is important. Like Gary Vee say, you could be happy with 40 or 50K a year. You could be miserable having $1 million. It's just being self-aware of what you want in your life and work toward it. And what else? Oh, JK Family. I watch them religiously every single day. It's an Asian group, but how would I say it? They are very, very different from a lot of like Wong Fu or a lot of like Asian YouTuber that you see online, because they always speak their mind. I mean, sure, they could be really crude sometimes, but that's what I love about them. They always speak their mind, be themselves, very, very expressive, very energetic, and that's what I love about them. And hopefully I could learn from them, and hopefully I could break out myself, be more confident, more expressive, more outspoken. And then to be honest, they are the reason why I'm kind of start this YouTube channel also. The more I watch and listen from all these awesome people, the YouTube videos, the books I got, I realized that there's this pattern to self-development and personal growth. How can I say this? A good way to put it is by Simon Sinek. The way he says is that we as human beings know what we want. Things like financial goal, how much money we want to make, what job or career we want to have, what house, what life partner, how many children want to live, and settle down with a family, and so on. Like we know what we want. We also know how we want it. The how to. For example, like if I want to make money, I know how to do it. Get a job, work that job, get paid, you get money. We know how to get that job or career that we want. We know step by step from education, college, volunteer, internship, companies, networking to work that financial ladder. We know how to make money, whether by hourly wage, salary, passive income, online commerce, business, real estate, stock, or even crypto. We know that even though we might not know exactly step by step to get what we want, we know that we can just go online and type in Google, and we're going to have a bunch of results where we go to, oh, here's a step by step how to get what we want. So we already know what, how, and what. We know what we want, we know how to get that. Now, here's the meat of the pie or the cherry on top. I don't know what's the right idiom for this, but whatever. For most of online videos and books I have watched and read, most people know what they want and how to get what they want. The problem is that most people don't know why they want to get what they want. You get what I'm saying? Why do we want what we want? We know we should do well in school, go to college, get a good job, find a nice life partner, get married, settle down, have a kid, and enjoy our life. But seriously, why do we need all this step? Why do we need to do this? Why are so many people so desperate to find someone to be with or even get married? Why do we so hungry to be rich? Why we have to compete and trample or tear each other down? Now, I understand that you or other people might not relate to my aha moment, this epiphany of the why mentality. Hopefully, when I went over the what, how, and why topic, you didn't think it was too hippie or too BS. If you still watching now, please listen. If you are still watching, I really appreciate that. And let me explain more and how I relate to this whole concept of why and why I love being lost and confused about my future. We always strive and spend our time to pursue external things like car, house, like jewelry, something fashionable, or something that improve our social standing. However, how many of us truly happy with all those stuff? Yeah, we will be happy if we have a nice car, but eventually we can use, oh, it's a nice car and that's it. Eventually we're gonna upgrade that nice car to something better. Same thing with the iPhone. Remember back then we have an iPhone 5 and then iPhone 6 came out. I was like, oh, I like this new iPhone 6. Now iPhone 7, iPhone 8, now we have iPhone X. So eventually we're always gonna go toward that new and better thing. But the problem is this, or the question is this: how many of us truly sit down and write down our own thoughts and have a deep meaning conversation with our own self and ask us, why do we do what we do? Why do we want all this nice thing? Was it because of social status? Was it finance? Because does that make us feel good? Why does it make us feel good? Where do our dream and aspiration come from? Why do I want to work this job? Why do I want career? Was it because our parent or was it because of us? Was it because that's what I dreamed when I was little, or was it because my parent instilled that idea in me when I was little? You know, all this question. Yeah, so it's a lot of self-inner thought, self-inner dialogues. Why do I love to serve other people and work in healthcare field? This is what I thought constantly while I was trying to find myself. Why am I shy? Why am I not outspoken? Why am I not considered funny? I mean, I have a lot of funny story, but can I really be a stand-up comedian? I don't know. I mean, like, maybe right now I'm asking you, like, can you be a stand-up comedian? I mean, I'm fairly sure you have a lot of funny story. Like, you make your friend laugh. Because in stand-up comedian, it's just telling a funny joke or share their own life experience and make it funny. Because every one of us as human being, we have friends who we talk to. Eventually, there's a day that we will be like, oh, this something funny happened to me, and we share that story to our friends, and they laugh. So why can't we just do that in front of hundreds of people on stage? Why can't we be a stand-up comedian? I mean, there's good and bad stand-up comedian, but what happened with being okay stand-up comedian? How about you? How do you feel if you up there standing, telling joke in front of a whole 100, or maybe let's just not even 100. How about a dozen of people? Are you scared? Are you anxious? How you feel right now? How you feel right now thinking about it? Why are you scared? If you are scared, why are you fearful? Or why you don't think that you are able to do it? These are the questions that you should ask yourself. Why don't I think I'm funny? Why don't I think I could do it? What led to this identity that I don't think I could do it? To be honest, I am just scratching the beginning of this journey of finding inner happiness and going outer to inner self. I gotta tell you this. It's a different journey because I'm not very expressive and emotional person. I'm trying to be more expressive, more energetic, and more outspoken. And hopefully doing all these YouTube videos will bring me out my own comfort zone and be more uncomfortable in front of the camera. The more I am uncomfortable, the more I realize, hey, right now I'm uncomfortable in front of the camera. I will mess up my line, I will stutter sometimes, but that's just me trying to come out my shell. And hopefully a year from now, or maybe a few years from now, I will be a different person, more outspoken, more energetic, more expressive. And it's a journey, to be honest. It's a difficult journey, but it's a journey nevertheless. And hopefully this journey will be amazing. Sure, it'll be up and down, but I really look forward to improving myself and have it on tape and on record and say, hey, this was me years ago and this is me now, and see the comparison and how much I grow. Now I just got a new job, a part-time job, because I want to spend more time here on YouTube making video and then finding myself and be more expressive and trying to improve myself. Sure, the part-time job is always gonna be there because I want to live. I need the part-time job for my living expenses, but I will be upload more constantly, more regularly here on YouTube. I'm not gonna be like my first video and then 6 months later my second video. I'm not gonna be like that for this next year. For next year, for sure, I will try my best to upload every single week. I'm scared, and I love that. I'm confused, and I love that. I'm lost, and I love that. Honestly, I do love that. I'm trying to embrace the idea that we as human beings should fall in love with every part of us, the good and the bad. Don't get me wrong, feeling good is amazing, it's great. But the bad and the negative, the down of life is where the challenge is. It's where we can improve ourselves. When we hit rock bottom or we hit a pit or some type of challenge in our life, that's where we have to pick ourselves up and we have to overcome, go through that challenge and come out a better person. Because if we don't have that negative or bad part of our life, and we only have a good part, we're not gonna grow. And that's why I'm saying that I'm loved, that I'm scared, I'm confused, I'm lost about my future. But here is where I think I will grow the most, because I don't know what's gonna be in my future. And I'm getting out of my comfort zone and trying new things, expose myself to different things. And hopefully, I can become a better person and improve myself. Because when I was complacent and just work to work, I think I didn't grow at all. And hopefully, by trying new things, I will get out my comfort zone, complacency, and become a better person next year. If you like this video, I recommend you to watch Lewis Holt interview with Kelsey. It's an amazing video and it's an amazing interview. It's really go in depth about finding inner self and embrace the uncertainty, the loss, the confusion, and why it's important to embrace that. Because he really go in depth about the idea of, hey, you don't know something, now you have to try it to figure out what you need to do to find yourself. So maybe I didn't really explain it well in this video, but I recommend you to watch that video. It's an amazing video. I will put a link in the description down below, and also I will link it at the end of this video, and you just need to click it to watch the interview with Lewis Holt with Kelsey. Thank you for watching till now. If you stay till now, I really appreciate it. And hopefully I will see you again in the next video. And Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. And if you relate to any of what I just say, please comment down below and share your experience. So maybe someone out there have the same experience as you, and maybe they could talk to you about it too. All right, see you next year.